Welcome everybody to Straight Shoot. My name is MrTeshk. I am joined with Conman167. Happy 2024, guys. This might look a little different, but first, Con, how you doing, bro?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic. It's great to be here back on Straight Shoot once again, and we've got a great year lined up for everybody. This podcast you're about to watch, there's some good stuff in it.
Yeah, guys, just so y'all know, we are going with a whole new avenue on here on YouTube, so just make sure you stick with us. And like always, we are going to bring some of the best wrestling content on YouTube, on Twitch, on TikTok, on all social media platforms, so don't forget to follow us.
Welcome to the live stream. This is Straight Shoot. It's good to be with all of you guys. We got Teshk, we got myself here today, and it's the first time we are ever doing the Straight Shoot Wrestling podcast on his channel and my channel simultaneously. Dude, you doing well today?
I am doing fantastic, my brother. I am very excited to this new concept because honestly, there is a lot of changes that have happened with Straight Shoot over all of 2023. And I think with 2024 coming in and kind of just taking that break in December and starting completely fresh, I think we have something that is going to really kind of change the dynamic of what people remember Straight Shoot as and what we are going to bring together as like the crew that is you and I. The yeets are going off in my chat. Yeets in the chat, guys. Yeets in the chat. But yes, guys, so moving forward, Con and I are going to be doing this weekly on both his and my Twitch channels. Oh, you guys are going to be able to get a first view of all the videos and potential TikToks that we're going to be doing. Whole new concept, whole new layout, and whole new structure. But first off, guys, we're going to flip over to a new look.
We got a new look here, boys. Look at this. And let's go.
So first off, for I am the new green shirt guy. Yes, I am. But just a heads up, guys, don't forget to go follow us over on our Twitter, Straight Shoot PC. That is where you guys are going to be able to be the most interactive with us. We do have a new concept coming in called our mailbag and chat questions, and also this week in social media. We will speak more to that later on in the podcast, but what we need you guys to do is go over to the Straight Shoot PC on Twitter, give us a follow, and anything you want us to talk about during the week, tag us in it. We will go through it in our hour prep before the podcast, and then we will talk about it all on next week's. Obviously, it's going to be very Royal Rumble heavy, so if there's things about the Royal Rumble you want us to talk about, tag us in it, ask us questions, all that kind of stuff. Con, but we have breaking news as of 5 minutes ago from Sean Ross Sapp. Can you read this off to us?
Yeah, and it's actually pretty big breaking news right now. So WWE announces an official partnership with American Corporate Partners. So as of today, literally like as of 2:40 p.m., Sean Ross Sapp announced this. It says today announces a new partnership with American Corporate Partners, ACP, a national nonprofit organization dedicated to empowering returning veterans and active duty spouses through one-on-one professional development mentorship programs. That's a mouthful.
That's huge.
As part of the partnership, WWE superstars and former United States Marine Montez Ford will become the first professional athlete to serve as a registered mentor for ACP. Here's a quote. They say, WWE has a long-standing history of supporting our nation's active service members, veterans, and their families, said Montez Ford, who served in the U.S. Marines from 2008 to 2012. It's an honor to represent WWE as part of this partnership with ACP and its outstanding mentorship program. This launched in 2008. ACP personally pairs applicants with hand-picked mentors based on career compatibility, experience level, location, and personal interests. Today, more than 30,000 veterans and spouses have completed their ACP mentorship, which includes access to resume building and interview preparation, career exploration, networking opportunities, small business development and leadership, and professional communication resources. This is what they had to say about it. All of us at ACP are excited to begin our partnership with WWE. Frequently, our post 9/11 veteran proteges seek career guidance in the field of entertainment, and we are delighted to be able to provide them with the mentors from a top leader in the industry. Holy hell, man. That's big.
It's a mouthful, but I think that is probably one of the biggest and best partnerships that WWE first off could have put together. And Endeavor, it's showing what Endeavor is really doing for this company and really making it even more global than it really is. W's are going off in my chat like crazy right now. Big shout out to Montez Ford. I know he is going to be probably the best. I don't think you pick Bobby Lashley or Randy Orton, but I think Montez with
you don't pick Randy Orton.
You don't pick Randy. How he tried to get himself discharged. But anyways, we'll talk about that another day. But yeah, that's a huge announcement. I think Montez Ford is the best to have as the face of that. So big W to WWE, and I can't wait to see what they can do to help a lot of returning veterans.
Absolutely. And I mean, WWE has always been heavily involved with the troops, like tribute to the troops, going over during an active war to put on a show for the troops. You know, this is completely on brand for WWE. It's one of my favorite things about their company and how they treat and respect the troops. My family has some members in the military, so, you know, it hits a little close to home, if you will.
Same.
It's just really good to see that WWE is going to continue to reach out and try to help out some veterans.
Exactly. So just for some people coming in before we move forward, just remember, guys, Conman and I are going to be continuing our Straight Shoot media show moving forward on Twitch. This is where you'll be able to get the first come, first serve basis of our weekly episodic show, and then obviously the YouTube videos will go up later in the week, but this is what we are going to be doing weekly. We are going to be doing a joint venture on both of our Twitches. So if you don't follow Conman and you are a friend of mine or a follower of mine, you can click right down on the bottom there on the little title there and make sure you give Conman a follow, and I'm assuming he will say the same on his end. And the cool part is, don't
follow him.
Don't follow him.
I'm joking.
Okay, I get it.
Follow Teshk. Okay.
The cool part is, though, Con said something to me today. Is the first time that his viewership is going to get a Twitch exclusive show in over a year.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's been a hot minute, man. We left Twitch last year and went to multi-streaming, and now we're back with an exclusive Twitch show for all of you guys. So some people have asked, why do we continue to watch you on Twitch if you're everywhere? Well, now you have a reason. So we're here. We're going to be live hopefully every Tuesday. I think that's the game plan. If we can't deliver it on a Tuesday, we will find another day to deliver the Straight Shoot podcast for you guys. But every single week, everybody, you can expect to see myself and Teshk chatting about wrestling. Now, my man, we got some big news here out of the wrestling world, and it didn't actually take place inside the squared circle.
No, it did not. It should have.
It should have, but it took place on a damn interview show. If you want to take this away before we press play.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have seen this over time and time again where professional wrestlers have gone to promote their craft. And first off, a lot of people are saying that wrestling fans are overreacting with this, and I highly disagree. Yes, we are a little sensitive to the F word, if you may. And we've talked about this in my chat for quite some time. We do not talk the F word in my chat because it's not fake. It's predetermined. These athletes go around 300 days a year and put their bodies on the line. So these presenters going at LA Knight and Grayson Waller down in Australia really overstepped their bounds and the line. And I think, Con, you and I, before we came on, you made a comment that LA Knight held his composure so well.
Yes. Yeah, and he really did.
For Grayson Waller to be the Aussie in this, for one, and to be the uber heel that he's playing, my God. If I'm Grayson Waller, I'm laying him out. Like, that's me. So let's watch the video first, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it.
We'll watch this here, and what you guys really got to pay attention to is what we just said, that LA Knight held his composure, but babyface over here, he has to. He doesn't really have any option. He's put in between a rock and a hard place. Grayson Waller saw that, sniffed it right out, and here is the response. I think that's the best quality we got.
Finishing moves.
Can I give you one?
Yeah, can you, like, not me.
I'll just be over here.
But can you show us? one of your moves?
No, I think it
Like in the
actually just
studio?
showed on the screen there. If I
Yeah.
do that, it's not going to be a
Well,
good
maybe
day for
someone
anybody.
like our floor manager, maybe he seems
Well,
available.
actually, our floor manager's leaving
Look at
this
him.
week.
Yeah.
And
Hold on, pause it right there.
Yeah.
Pause it right there for a sec. Pause it right there for a
That's
sec.
not for me.
So first off, even I think the production crew realized, because if you listen to that, they start playing crickets.
Yeah.
They start playing crickets. Now, if they start playing crickets, do you not think you take the cue to shut up?
You would think,
You
normally,
think.
right? Yeah, but that's not what happened here. Cameraman number 2 comes out from the back, and he's ready to, well, just
You want
watch.
to go ahead and take this one?
Look,
I'll pop one.
Uh-oh.
I don't think you understand. Like, if I come
This, yeah, right here. This is ridiculous. Like, he's lining up, pretending he's going to fight Grayson Waller. My man, you wouldn't do this to a UFC fighter. Why the
Absolutely
hell are
not.
you doing this to a WWE wrestler? Like, yeah, we know the business, but like these guys could still rock you easily.
Yeah.
And watch.
over there right now, we're going to have the police here because I'm not going to give you some fake punch. Like, I'm going to punch you straight in the jaw. The disrespect that you have even talking to me. No, you want to talk to me like this ain't real? Don't act all tough, lad. Don't act all tough.
Get in the middle of this. You keep back.
whether
You
we
keep
should.
back. Get him out of there. You get out of there. You get out. I'm so sorry. No, don't.
I think my favorite part about this though is this guy trying to play good guy all of a sudden.
All of a
when
sudden.
when he was part of it right from the beginning, and
Yeah.
then Grayson Waller's like, I'm not gonna let you get away with that. Like you're part of this problem.
You guys come here trying to disrespect us. Are you kidding me?
I'm not disrespecting you.
You're all right, mate. No, we love you.
And here's the other thing: the disrespect of playing Cena's theme.
Hey, you get out of here. You take that trash talk. You get out. I won't have these guests disrespected like that, Mitch. You get out.
And the thing is, Grayson's sniffing this out the whole way.
Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming in. So,
And Grayson Waller is sniffing this out the whole way, even saying after they sat down to the other guy, saying, "Mate, you basically antagonized this whole thing." I'm just blown away that we've come so far with professional wrestling and the internet, and understanding that the whole world knows it's predetermined. The whole world knows. But look what happened to Logan Paul with Kevin Owens last week.
Oh yeah, just the black eye. I mean, wrestling injuries happen all the time, and these are tough son of a guns here. They're not slouches. They throw their body down on the ring for fun. I wouldn't really want to step to any of them. And Grayson Waller, again, I just got to give him his praise.
Yeah,
in this
absolutely.
one.
He did a great job.
If anybody is thinking, oh, Grayson should have held his composure, he shouldn't have reacted that way. No. This is absolutely right on par with how Roddy Piper would have reacted. This is on par with a bunch of different wrestlers who've been on talk shows.
Except Vader.
Vader, yeah. Well, Vader would have choked cameraman number 2 out. That's what he would have done.
It's so funny, but look at the last thing I want to say. Look at the eyes on LA Knight here. He is
one of his
daggers.
signature finishing
Pure
moves.
daggers.
Right there. Do you see? So right here,
yeah.
when she said, "Can you share one of your finishing moves?" That was the look of like, did you actually just ask that? Watch this again.
Yeah.
One of your signature finishing moves.
Can I give you one?
Yeah, can you, like, not me.
I'll just be over it.
Waller's face. Waller loses it too, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna rewind one more time just because this is. You don't see this that often anymore on talk shows. You know, they're relatively good when it comes to interviewing people and not trying to make it. I don't even know what they were trying to do here, but watch Grayson Waller's reaction.
Finishing moves.
Can I give you one?
Yeah, can you, like,
What?
Oh yeah, here, just here.
Nah.
Here,
Show
hold
us
on. Just line
one of
up.
the
Let me
moves.
give you a BFT right on that glass table and see what happens. Like, come on, man. Like, it's one of those ones now that you know something negative is gonna happen. Like Rowdy Piper, yeah, sure, I'll choke you out right here. You know, imagine Undertaker walking up. Yeah, okay, come here. Let me choke slam you through that table. That's gonna break your back the way it's arched. Like, come on.
I'm going to pull up a different video here that we didn't have planned, so just switch to the dual screen for a second here.
Yeah.
Because I want to pull up that Roddy Piper interview.
Oh yeah. How's it going, everybody in the chat? We're not ignoring you. We're just having a conversation. We will get all to the chat comments and questions in a couple of minutes here. We're just going through a little bit of a segment here.
Yeah, here it is. Oh, maybe not. There it is.
Yeah.
Don't insult Roddy Piper. So this is on TikTok. Hopefully it will.
Full screen?
Well,
and they are
full
in on the
screen.
joke. That's not an insult.
So what you're trying to say is what, I mean, people are just dying for this.
I take it as an insult, too.
I do too.
I mean,
but they're dying to find out, hey, wrestling's fake. No,
then
the
you're
only
telling
thing
me
that's
that you're
fake
really
is,
hitting each other?
no.
The sound of the chair is real, okay? We are entertainment, but when a metal chair cracks your back, that's not fake.
When somebody throws you from...
It's a metal.
Yes, you know what? I'm
There's
so
never a bruise on any of you.
Maloney, you got a minute? Look at that.
Yeah. And yeah. Rightfully so. Right, no bruise, eh?
No bruise at all. Absolutely no bruises.
broken wrist.
And then it gets real here.
Yeah.
He's like, this isn't just minor injuries. We're talking about a death.
Yeah.
At this point.
7 years it's been broken. Owen Hart, dead. Why don't you go tell Mrs. Hart what a joke it is, huh? Oh, it's just a phrase, right? You want me to be truthful with you? Huh, champ?
Damn.
Damn is right.
It gets
Don't use the F word.
Don't use the F word in professional wrestling. I think that's where we've come to the conclusion on that one, right?
Yeah, I think so. But now we're going to continue to show why wrestling really isn't fake, okay? Because Seth Rollins recently on Monday Night Raw, we saw something pretty scary. And the reports afterwards was that Seth Rollins got injured. So let's take a quick look at what this is. This is the video from the match between him and Jinder Mahal on Monday Night Raw. And during this match, Rollins goes to deliver a moonsault and lands hard on his left knee.
First off, before we go any further, was Seth Rollins not goddamn cooking in this match?
Oh my God, Seth Rollins was fantastic. He did absolutely everything to make this a memorable main event.
Stuff we have not seen Seth do in a couple of years.
Yep.
And Seth
he looked like Architect's Seth at one point.
He did look like the Architect, yeah. And unfortunately, the last time we saw something like this happen, he was the Architect. So anyways, moving on.
So we'll go back to that again in the future. We'll talk more about the injury, but here's how it happened.
Off the air is if you scroll back about half a second there, once he hits the mat, it's a hesitation on the impact.
Yeah,
and
so
play
you guys
it
are
from
gonna see.
Play it from here. There's the hesitation on the pin.
Hesitation.
The
then
slow cover. And
then right here.
Yeah.
Ready? There's the knee. Grabs the knee. And Michael Cole also says that he might have tweaked something. So
and the worst part about that is I noticed that the knee pad was slightly shifted to the left when he rolls over. It doesn't look like the pad was actually fully covering his knee. So it looks like he's come right down on his patella. I don't think this is an ACL. I don't think this is a ligament. This might be a patella shift, which I have actually extreme knowledge of because I've had the same injury. But this one here is a little scary getting as close we are to WrestleMania.
And we're going to talk a little bit about what this could mean for WrestleMania in a second, but we're just going to watch this one more time so you guys see. We're watching the left knee here. And as he goes up, right about here, left knee is going to come on down. And
it's the first thing that takes the impact too is the left knee.
Yeah, the left knee, first thing, you can see the grimace on his face from the moment he lands. The hesitation to the cover, like you mentioned. And then immediately grabbing the knee. Yeah. So that's that right there, guys. Doesn't look good is all I'll say. It doesn't look good, especially this close to WrestleMania. If there is anything that could be the silver lining is that we are still far enough away from WrestleMania that he could potentially be healed up in time if it's not too bad, but we don't really know much about Rollins and the state of his injury right now.
I think we'll find out more coming to Monday Night Raw this week. I think this is where, if this is a serious injury, we are going to get everything played out and we could potentially get an early cash in. We could talk more about this, or let's just talk about it now.
Yeah, let's do it.
I look at this, Con, and I've not talked to you about this, but I look at this as a massive blessing in disguise.
Okay.
I see this as a positive, and I'll give you that whole context. But first off, what is the biggest concern on your mind with it potentially being a Seth injury, a Seth Rollins not at Rumble, and a Seth Rollins not in Perth, and a Seth Rollins not at WrestleMania?
All of them, honestly. All of them would be my main concern. I guess Rumble you can do without because we've had so many world title matches lately. So you could do without Rollins there. He could sit ringside if you wanted. Like, doesn't actually have to wrestle. Perth, you need him there.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns isn't going to be there, at least according to these reports that are circulating right now. Who knows if that changes, but reports early on, Roman Reigns ain't going to be there. You need Rollins. You need some sort of elimination chamber title match, whether they wanted to do the world title match in there or if they just do like a United States title or a women's championship again. But like, you kind of need Rollins at this point.
You do. And then the implications for WrestleMania, it's another WrestleMania in a Hall of Fame career of Seth Rollins where he misses out again, where he might not get to main event. And it's the one thing.
Should.
It's the one thing.
He should this year. There's 2 WrestleMania main events. He should. You know, I don't know how. If he's not healthy, then obviously he can't main event it. But if he is, and I guess this is going to bring us into our conversation here, but if he is healthy, it should be CM Punk versus Rollins.
It should be.
Mind. It should be. That's the biggest match that they could put on for Rollins and for Punk. I even think it's bigger than Roman Reigns Punk right now.
I agree. But let's pull away. Say Seth Rollins is not available for WrestleMania.
Okay.
What is the main event for the world title?
God, well, you've got a few options. If you're doing Rock Roman for the WWE Championship, that frees up Cody Rhodes.
It does.
Now, a lot of us don't want to see Cody Rhodes win the World Heavyweight title because he needs to finish the story by winning the WWE Championship.
That is true.
But it still would be a big match. And
do you want to switch over to the other scene? There you go.
Yes. But this brings us up to this video, or not even video, this post from CM Punk on Instagram.
Yeah.
Where he says, I think it's time you asked me what I want to talk about. And he ats Cody Rhodes.
He does.
Face-to-face cards on the table next week live in New Orleans. So, are we getting a promo segment between Cody and Punk?
Absolutely. And I'm just going to jump into this because this is probably one of my biggest and favorite things in wrestling news this week. And it comes from our friends over at the Busted Open podcast. And it is Bully Ray's comments on this. WWE CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania should be used as the biggest FU to AEW.
Oh my God.
And I agree. I agree. It would be amazing to show the 2 biggest stars to ever perform in AEW that jump ship back to their home where the grass is always greener. And they then main event WrestleMania Night 1.
So if Seth Rollins is not good to go, I don't know how you don't pull trigger on that match.
Only problem. We still have Damian Priest with the Money in the Bank, and we still have Drew McIntyre.
Yes. So there's so many. This is the best part. Think about where we were a few years ago.
Oh my God.
And we were trying to think, what is WrestleMania going to look like? We were calling it from 8 months out.
Yep.
Right. We knew exactly where they were going. We knew exactly what they were doing with the Royal Rumble, with everything along the way. It's like, this is going here. And it didn't mean it was bad, but it also didn't mean that we were speculating for months on end leading up. What's the WrestleMania main event's going to be? If Seth Rollins isn't good to go, you got to pull trigger on that match. But then the question has to be, is it for the World Heavyweight Championship because of the names you just mentioned, because of a Drew McIntyre, because of a Sami Zayn? You can even lump Jey Uso into that if you wanted to. What's next for Gunther? Is he going to be after the world title come WrestleMania season? Like, does he lose the IC title before then? Like, it's a possibility. And we start getting into the direction of, what if there's a multi-man match for the world title? Like, if they don't put if it's not Rollins versus Punk, and it's not Punk versus Cody for the world title, I think you do Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, Sami Zayn, and
Jay.
Yeah, Jay. If that's as long as Jay isn't facing Gunther at WrestleMania.
Exactly.
I don't know what they got planned
which
for
rumors
Jay.
is it's going to be Gunther Brock. So
Which if they can do Gunther Brock, you do Gunther Brock.
yeah, exactly.
You don't think twice, and you have Gunther go over.
Yeah. And for everybody saying, oh, it's Jay Jimmy at Mania, like there's no build for that yet unless Jimmy gets eliminated by Jay
which could happen
at the Rumble, which could happen.
Yep.
Now, I just want to go back to why I'm saying this Seth Rollins thing could be a blessing in disguise. Now, the one thing that we have been deprived of in virtually this entire Roman Reigns run is the feud between Seth and Roman to a high level extent.
To a high level, sure.
Yeah. They have almost deliberately kept Seth and Roman apart because Seth is the biggest guy basically on the Raw brand or the one side, and Roman's the biggest guy on the other side.
Right.
Seth needs to heal. Doesn't matter. He has been going full throttle for.
Yeah, he's got a broken back.
Well, apparently, but he needs to heal. He needs some time off. I personally think that. So if this knee injury is a blessing in disguise, if it's a bad knee injury, he's out for 9 months, which runs us to the end of the year, basically, with physio, strength training, hitting the ropes, going to the performance center, getting the rust off, and going back in. That brings us back to the Royal Rumble in 2025, where we get a returning Seth Rollins in the Rumble. Now, at this rate, nobody in their right minds believes Roman Reigns is losing that title before he beats Hogan's record, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Even with all the social media stuff that's been going on, Roman Reigns, if it's Rock Roman at WrestleMania, he's beating the record.
Of course.
He's gonna beat Hulk Hogan's record.
Of course.
The only thing that would make me say he's not gonna is if we do get Roman Cody.
And I still don't think we're gonna get Roman Cody because I don't think Cody's winning the Rumble.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think Cody's winning the Rumble. I don't think he even has, to be honest, I don't even think he faces for a world title at WrestleMania.
No.
I think the logical place for Cody Rhodes to go is to Randy Orton.
Yeah, exactly.
Randy versus Cody.
See, and I if I was them, I'd keep that for a year. I would let that slow build, but it is what it is. So going back to what I'm saying, Roman carries all the way through to 41. Okay. He's beaten the record by a long shot. It'll never probably be touched in our lifetime again. So returning Seth Rollins wins the Rumble.
Right.
Okay. He comes back at 23. We're
talking about the 2025 Rumble.
2025 Rumble. He enters at 23. He wins the Rumble. He challenges Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Roman, Seth, Night 2, WrestleMania 41 in Minnesota. Seth Rollins finally gets the main event, and he finally gets that top tier WrestleMania moment next to the heist of the century that he deserves by dethroning the man he turned on when he left the Shield.
The story writes itself, but one issue.
What?
Cody's story. Cody's story is a big thing. Now, I'm a big Cody fan, all right? I'm just going to put that out there. I really like what Cody Rhodes does. I've really enjoyed him since he's at least came over from AEW.
Yep.
He's been great. One of my favorites in WWE. The first WrestleMania, I thought that was made for him to win the title, right? Like, even though the story, pushing the story on, all that, it's made for some good TV, but at that moment, I feel a lot of people were robbed of a really feel-good moment for Cody Rhodes, which is fine. Wrestling is wrestling, so we can get that feel-good moment eventually. But if you put off that feel-good moment too long, it loses all appeal. And Cody Rhodes is in danger that if he doesn't get the WrestleMania main event this year, his story needs to culminate next year. Otherwise, what are we doing, right? Like, why are we putting off a tailor-made babyface that the crowd loves, is making a lot of money for WWE? Why are we putting it off this long if we're not going to deliver, right?
Okay.
If we're not going to actually finish the story? What's the purpose?
Okay,
right?
Sidebar it then. Exactly what I said. Rollins returns, eliminates Cody as the last man at the Rumble, still wins the Rumble. Cody ends up finding a way back into the main event. You go triple threat, Roman, Cody, Seth. Cody wins.
As much as I love the idea of trying to get Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns, which I think is the big thing that you've got going on out there, right? Like, get to that match eventually and have Seth go over. It almost needs to happen after Roman lost the title.
True.
Right? It does. Like, I feel like if you talk about Cody, let's say we get all the way to next year's WrestleMania, and finally it's Cody versus Roman, and Cody finally finished the story, and Roman broke all the records along the way. Like, they got all their check marks in their boxes that they were looking for.
Yeah.
SummerSlam is right there afterwards, and if we're actively trying to make SummerSlam one of the biggest shows of the year, geez, Roman versus Seth, main event of SummerSlam, you don't even have to have a title on the line.
No.
You could market it as something relating to the Shield if you wanted to. You could market it as these careers have been parallel to each other their entire way, and now they finally come to a head. Rollins has lost to Roman. Roman has lost to Rollins. Like, let's get it. So you can go that direction, but it also is a big WrestleMania match, isn't it? Like,
it's a huge WrestleMania match, and I personally don't think we have Roman for another 5 years. I think after this run, he'll probably dwindle and do the Brock Lesnar thing, show up every now and again. But I don't think we have Roman for easily. I don't see Roman at WrestleMania 45. That's the weird thing, unless it's like the Brock Lesnar show up and challenge someone.
Yeah, but that's a long time to think ahead. But yeah, I can see why you would say that. Yeah, like, in the next 5 years, you know, how old is he now?
He's 38, 39, 38.
He is 38.
Yeah,
Yes.
38. Yeah, I knew he was a little older than myself.
Like, you know, he's still technically just entering the prime of his career, which is wild to say.
I know.
Right?
I know.
Like, he's actually just in the prime. Now, we're also missing a babyface run from Roman Reigns at some point. Right? Hey, I think there's so many people that do like Roman Reigns, that do like what he brings to the table, the head of the table, if you will. he could have a strong babyface run if Solo turns on him and joins with Paul Heyman or something along those lines.
That would be such a good story.
It would be.
Good story.
Yeah.
All right, so I think we've beat that horse to death.
I think so, just a little bit.
But there are opportunities there. With Roman, Seth, Cody, Drew. I still, next week when we talk, I still want to see where we see Drew McIntyre, because I think Drew McIntyre is doing some of the best work. I think what we're getting, I know we've got a list of things we're going to talk about, but I just want to jump into this quickly. Drew McIntyre is doing some of the best work that he has done since getting fired from WWE.
It's safe to say ever.
Yeah, like when I don't know if you followed Drew when he left and went back to the UK.
Enough. I saw enough of his matches.
So when he debuted in ICW, is it? The Scottish
Insane Championship Wrestling.
The promotion he came from, when he re-debuted, there was an hour-long promo after the show ended by Drew. And he just literally released all of his grievances. And the funniest part was Mick Foley was at the show that night.
Dope.
And he called Hunter and said, I know you just fired him, but you need to keep an eye on him. And the Drew McIntyre that we got then is virtually the Drew Galloway. Yeah. So we are getting Drew Galloway in WWE right now. We are getting the, like, I am sick of this shit.
Yep.
And I'm okay with Drew McIntyre being sick of this shit, because as a Drew McIntyre fan, I'm sick of this shit. Like,
fair.
I believe every word he says. So I just think we should give the flowers to Drew McIntyre right now, because the work he's doing on the mic, some of the promos over the last couple of weeks have just been phenomenal. So I just want to say, like, if you are a Drew McIntyre fan, go back and watch some of his indie stuff when he got released, because we're getting a very similar version. Anyways, move on.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the Raw stage, okay? We had a new stage for Monday Night Raw. A lot of people were thinking this is just due to the snow that was hitting, and they had to shrink the arena down, move to a smaller venue, whatever the case may have been. But if you guys didn't see it, the two big screens are it's normally just one big screen.
Yeah.
And instead, it was two big screens with like a middle part and some stanchions coming up the center. So it looked weird. I'm not going to lie. It looked off, but it also looked cool because all I was thinking was somebody's jumping off those tonight. I thought somebody was climbing up the stanchions and was going to jump off it, but that didn't end up happening. But what do you think, man? Was it just due to it being a smaller venue, or what's the reason behind this?
I thought it was what we're getting for the future, and it was very Attitude Era-esque. It was very old school, but new school blended. I love the iron stanchions. It gave me that old Raw is War kind of vibe. Very Triple H type of thing to do, to bring a little bit of the past into the present, especially the stuff he grew up with, or he developed in. I loved it. I also don't know if you guys noticed, but the framework above the ring looked a little bit different as well. Yep. Very iron stanchion, very Raw is War style, or the War Zone as they used to call it. That I really like this, and I hope this is how they continue, because I really never liked the little like kind of hidden center entrance from the screen.
Right.
I never really liked that. It was just like, what are you doing? Like, where are people? I just never liked it. So separating the screen, it doesn't take away from being able to see what's going on the screens either. I loved it. I thought it was an 8 out of 10. Simplicity is sometimes better than extravagance, and I love the simplicity. Everyone says to me, what's your favorite WrestleMania entrance? My favorite WrestleMania entrance is Stone Cold's WrestleMania 19, where they're filming him walk down the aisle from behind. That's one of my favorites. It's so simple, but there's so much story to it. So I thought simplicity is the best way to go with this.
Nice. I'm glad that you liked it as well. Like, I thought it looked good. I believe you're right that this is a direction they're moving in. I don't think what we saw is the final product. I think that was more so due to the snowstorm that was going on, and they had to, whether it be they couldn't get the trucks in, to bring the bigger screen, so they just had to bring a smaller truck with a smaller screen, or whatever the case may have been. I think it looks good, though, having the stanchions there. Again, I just think somebody's going to jump off it.
One day.
And
we got Extreme Rules coming sooner or later.
Yeah, if we have them there, like that was one of those things that we had not all the time, but frequently enough in the Attitude Era and Ruthless Aggression Era, was people were going up on stanchions and falling off of it, or falling off of high places. We kind of see it more in AEW now than we do in WWE.
Sammy Guevara.
Sammy Guevara just diving. Dude just did a flip and didn't pull it off. So no. But we're seeing a lot more of it, and I bet you WWE has to consider, okay, how could we do some of these really cool stunts?
Yeah.
And how can we make it as natural as possible, like with our setup? So I think we're gonna see a new sort of background at some point this year. I don't think the way that we're running with the current big screen is very 2024.
No.
Feels 2021-ish, if I'm being honest.
Yep, I agree.
The LED-ification of wrestling is difficult to watch, if you will.
I'm sorry. I just there's a comment. I don't mean to jump off topic. There's a comment in my channel right now that says Shane McMahon and the other guy hitting him with the kendo stick. It's definitely showing the age of my chat right now.
Nobody knows Steve Blackman anymore?
How do you not know who Steve Blackman is? Come on.
Come on, chat. Come on, boys. We expect better from you.
Oh my God. Anyways, all right, moving on.
We have some news.
And I'm buzzing about this. Let's
go. Let's talk about it.
Guys, we have breaking news. There's a story released by Fightful and Sean Ross Sapp, which I actually caught earlier today, because next week I will be down in Tampa Bay for GCW, and one of the most exciting parts about it was I was going to be able to see Andrade El Idolo in a match in GCW. Well, as of this morning, Andrade El Idolo is no longer on the card for GCW on the 26th of January in Tampa Bay.
Interesting. I wonder what's going on there, eh?
So we at Straight Shoot, and I'm going to assume at Fightful and every other wrestling company or media source out there, believe that Andrade El Idolo will be a surprise entrant in the 2024 Royal Rumble. Con, what are our feelings on this?
It needs to happen. I mean, Andrade is so underrated.
Absolutely.
Like, he's a star. He's
Yeah.
actually a star. And with the focus on the LWO and with Legado del Fantasma, or whatever they call themselves now, there's so much talent that could interact with Andrade.
Yep.
That you bring in the question of, like, where's Zelina going to be aligned? Like, if Andrade isn't put with LWO, is Zelina tempted to go away from LWO? Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, so this all of a sudden opens up a lot of cool storylines for Andrade. You've got Andrade versus Dominic Mysterio down the line, which would absolutely cook if they're able to get those two in the ring against each other. You've got a match with Carlito ready-made. You've got a match, if you want to go a heel route with him versus Rey Mysterio again. Those guys cooked on SmackDown back in the day.
Yep.
Like, this is such a good potential signing for WWE, who fits right in to the current day of wrestling.
I want to hit on something that you said with Andrade and Zelina. Obviously, the history there, both of them being very good friends outside of WWE with Malachi as well. The biggest thing with this whole situation is the Nick Aldis Zelina Vega feud that is going on social media right now. After Nick Aldis appeared on the bump and referenced Zelina Vega saying she needs to show me something, she needs to, take it into her own hands, and Zelina took that personal.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's deaf. And the thing is, you never see really characters move into their personal lives, like on their social medias or their Twitch channels. And she's been very outspoken on her Twitch about this as well. I do believe if Andrade comes back, it is not Zelina approaching Andrade. If they're going the heel route with this, it is not Zelina approaching Andrade. It is Andrade approaching Zelina and just giving her a look, being like, all right, what are you doing
with these guys?
What are you doing with these guys?
Prime example, she was on NXT last night with Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro.
Yep.
No shot at them at all. But prying Zelina Vega away from them be really good TV.
Amazing.
Like,
TV.
what are you doing with these whatever he wants to call them, these imposters, or you know what I mean? Like, however he wants to phrase it, these perros, or
exactly.
He could go out there. What are you doing with these guys? Come back to a real champion.
And let's be real, Zelina is way better as a heel than she is as a face.
God, yeah,
she's
so much better.
She's so
and don't
good
get
on
me
the
wrong,
mic.
she's been great as a babyface. I think her facial expressions ringside right now, the concern that she has for LWO is fantastic.
Yes,
she sold that Santos Escobar heel turn.
Absolutely.
But she's 10 times better as a heel.
Yeah. So, are we excited? Are we excited about the potential return? Actually, forget that. Before we go into that, is this an avenue that we're going to see with AEW? It feels like AEW is really struggling to keep big names. And apparently the rumors of how Andrade left, and I don't want to talk about rumors because there's nothing concrete, and I don't want to be a dirt sheet. I don't want to be a rumor mill. But there's been significant things said about Andrade not wanting to be there, unhappy with creative and all that kind of stuff. We've heard this story before with, obviously, CM Punk. We heard that creative lost stuff to do with Cody. Now Andrade. When was the last you posted something earlier? Oh no, another content creator posted something earlier saying Malachi Black has not had a singles match since 2021.
Yeah, it was that whatever tournament for the international title
against Penta.
Yeah.
So
like that.
Is this
so? Yeah. Short answer. Yeah, dude. Yeah, they are having major issues over there in AEW. The mismanagement of funds.
Yeah.
The CM Punk debacle. You know, losing Cody Rhodes, and it would take a long time to find, so I'm not going to actually pull it up. But back when Cody Rhodes was rumored to be leaving AEW, there was a lot of conversation around on our streams about the cracks in the foundation.
Yes.
Is this the start of the cracks of the foundation? And the answer was yes. Yeah, it was. Cody leaving had a domino effect that I don't think a lot of people expected, because he showed grass isn't always greener over there in AEW either, right? Like, do what's best for you, the wrestler, right? And you might be used really well in AEW. You might not be. And there's prime examples, Keith Lee being one of them, Andrade, Malachi Black, all former WWE guys who went over there and really haven't had much with their career.
Miro. Oh, there you go. Miro. And also one other one, even though he's not a WWE guy, Jack Perry. Like, he was an up and coming guy. Like, they had something, and unfortunately something just didn't really.
I believe the Jack Perry incident is because of the toxic environment that was AEW at the time. I think everybody had a toxic trait to them. I don't think there was one single person in the AEW locker room who wasn't slightly toxic about something during that time frame. Locker room was very divided, and just kids, if I'm being honest, who don't have experience being on TV to know you don't do that shit on TV, right?
Exactly.
You handle it behind the scenes, and it fell apart. It is what it is. But getting Andrade over from AEW, him not wanting to resign, it tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
You know, he's not being considered for booking decisions. And in fact, the best that he was booked was when he was on his way out inside that whatever tournament. What was it called again? The end of the year tournament.
Oh, it was like the soccer tournament or whatever.
The Continental
Classic.
Continental Classic. That was it. Thank you. Like, he was booked well in that, but it's because he was on his way out and they were trying to entice him to stay.
Yeah.
And he's like, I see through it. Like, you're not even giving me the win here in this. You're just gonna book me for a few strong matches and then that's it.
And arguably some of his best matches while in AEW were against Buddy Matthews.
Well, actually, his best one was Cody Rhodes.
True.
The flaming table spot that was insane.
That was nuts.
But again, that goes to show the value Andrade had. He was put out there in a hardcore match with Cody Rhodes. They went through a flaming table, and he didn't think twice about it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yes, cracks in the foundation are there. Yes, there's issues with AEW's payroll. Yes, I believe they are paying a lot of money for people who aren't even there anymore. I think they're paying a lot of money for CM Punk still. I think there's been a payout or something with that contract that just didn't end well.
As Tony Khan said, he cannot speak to that legally.
Yeah, legally he can't. And I am just speculating, so I want to say I'm just speculating, but there's issues. There's issues.
Awesome. All right, what do we got next? Because it's so funny. I'm watching my chat send some stuff in talking about updates and news, and we've actually got a list of things that have been updated, and we've already had a peek at them. Let's talk about going from Andrade to his beautiful wife, Charlotte Flair, and the amazing progress this woman 12 days post-op on a ACL MCL surgery. This is incredible.
Unreal.
Honestly,
she's gonna have a John Cena comeback.
Let's not go that far.
Okay,
let's not go that far. Like, it's still gonna be 9 months, but like, you can still see the swelling on her knee. You can still see the swelling on her knee on the left side. Heavy swelling.
Yeah.
But the fact that she can push her body weight at full extension 12 days after having double ligament surgery. First off, it shows her genetics.
Yep.
Forget whatever Ric Flair was doing in the 80s or what he was consuming. The genetics there just speak to that family and why they have two of the greatest wrestlers of all time with that bloodline, because
absolutely,
it's so impressive. 12 days. Guys, I dislocated my kneecap and I couldn't walk for 3 weeks. Like, come on.
Bro's just hobbling around and Charlotte's back in the gym.
Yeah.
Like, genetically superior. It's not just a tagline. She actually is.
Yeah.
Now we're going from a recovery to, unfortunately, an injury.
Yeah.
And there's no photo here to show you guys, but the article does state that, let me try to speak English, does state that AEW's Keith Lee is set to undergo 2 surgeries. So if you guys remember recently, Swerve Strickland was supposed to have a match with Keith Lee, and Dustin Rhodes had to replace Keith Lee at the last minute, and that's where Swerve just absolutely wrecked him, and it was a 20-minute basic squash.
Yeah.
But here it says that he will be set to undergo 2 surgeries, not just 1, but 2. He was informed that he was injured back in September of 2002. Wow, I can't read apparently. 2022. And while the injury was mostly well taken care of, things have gotten worse since Ring of Honor Final Battle.
Damn.
So Keith Lee's out, double surgery. I think it's, I don't want to speculate, but I think it's a knee injury.
Could be.
I'm not exactly sure. And hopefully it's not to do with any heart issues that he had going on at the time back then.
Yeah, we would hate to see, unfortunately, a Bray Wyatt situation again.
Oh gosh,
especially with the quality of Keith Lee as well.
So get well soon, Keith Lee. Hopefully
absolutely.
You're back before you know it. And we're talking about like just careers that have had a tough go in AEW. He has had a tough go from being arguably the guy who was supposed to be the next big star in WWE to, well, here we are 2024, and I don't think anything has really happened since Survivor Series.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like he's been there, but that Survivor Series match was the peak of Keith Lee, and tough, very tough to see happen. Now we got some good news though.
Yeah, big shout out and to everybody in my chat that was spamming this a couple of minutes ago. We're aware. We saw it about an hour ago. WWE on January 22nd of 2024. That is only like 5 days from now. That's
not
next
far.
Monday night. So they're probably going to do it on Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw reveal. The 2K24 cover.
It's dropping, boys.
It's dropping. And there's a lot of speculation on this, and I have different feelings to this than I believe a lot of other people, which what else is new? I'm really blue meanie. Sorry. I'm
blue meanie.
I am really hoping they do not do what the biggest rumor is and they make it about Bray Wyatt. My biggest thing on this is when you lose someone, I think you need to give it a year. And by the way, as of the recording of this video, I just want to say rest in peace, Jay Briscoe. 1 year today. We lost one of the one half of one of the greatest.
Been a year.
Holy
crap.
half of the greatest tag teams of all time. So big shout out, rest in peace, Jay Briscoe. But here's the thing. I do not agree that Bray Wyatt should be the focal point of 2K24. I do not think Bray Wyatt should even be put in the Hall of Fame in 2024.
Okay.
I personally believe, and it's my own personal beliefs, and everyone has their own ways of dealing with grief. You deserve to give it a year. 2025, take your time and develop it over the year. But give it to him in 2025. There are so many other wrestlers that you could do this for, but I just think it would be not in bad taste because it's not that. I just think they should just give it the year. He's been gone, 6 months?
Yeah.
You know, so that's just my vibe on it. It's probably still going to be Bray Wyatt, which I won't be mad. I just think they should take their time on it. That's all I'm saying.
I get what you're saying there for sure. And like it's probably the better call for him not to be at least the main cover.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's a special edition, where they have a special memorabilia package, where it's like you get the special cover, you get the
Firefly Funhouse pack or
the
whatever.
Firefly Funhouse pack. Yeah, whatever they decide to do, like something to pay homage to his career, but not just put him on every single cover, right?
Yeah.
I think that's probably the better direction to go this year. It's a memorial. It's not, hey, you're on the cover of the video game. It's in memoriam of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
The Hall of Fame, I just want to jump in there for a quick second.
Go ahead.
If the family wants it,
Yeah.
do it.
Then do it.
You know, if the family wants it this year, you do it. If the family doesn't want it, then you don't do it. And if it takes them 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, however many years, or never want it, you don't put them in at that point if the family doesn't want it. But I imagine they will.
Yeah.
They're a wrestling family, you know. They will want to pay their respects to Bray and his legacy that he left behind. So whether or not that's this year or next year at the Royal or at the Hall of Fame,
Yeah.
it will be all about the family if they want it to be this year or next year or another year.
So take Bray out of it. Who we putting on the cover?
Cody.
Yeah.
Yeah,
has
it's
to be.
Cody's year.
It has to be Cody's year.
He at least got to finish that story.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
To go on the cover.
I think hands down, unanimously, it's going to be Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone else. Who was on the cover last year?
Was that Reigns? Let's take a look. WWE 2K23. Oh, it's Cena.
Cena. Then it's
Cena,
then it's
that's
got
right.
it's. Ooh, what about the entire bloodline?
No, it's not together anymore.
Okay, then it's
you
got to
can't-
be.
You can't have it without Jay. You know what I mean? If you were gonna do the bloodline,
Yeah.
you had to do bloodline at its peak.
Then it has to be
You don't
Cody,
do it
or
now.
it has to be Cody or Roman.
Yep.
Actually,
Hear me out. Hear me out. What if Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens got it? They had a big year in 2020.
Sammy had a big year.
But you can't have Sammy without Kevin.
Yeah,
and his contributions.
I agree with what you're saying. I just don't see it.
Okay.
I can see Roman and Paul.
Yep.
When was the
Could see
last
that.
time we had an advocate on a manager on a cover?
Has there ever been?
Like, I don't think we've ever had a manager on a cover.
They could do Punk. They could do Punk.
Oh no! If they do Punk, I'll be pissed.
I
be
know a lot of people would.
livid. I'll be livid.
They might do Punk. Think of the sales.
I'll be.
You know, like I don't think they will, but they might.
What about Seth?
Yeah, they could do Seth.
Gunther?
World heavyweight title, new title on there at the front of the cover.
Yeah.
Could look good.
What about Rhea?
What if you just did your top champions?
That would be cool.
What if you had Roman, Seth, Gunther, Logan Paul? You know, as much as you roll your eyes at that, Logan Paul on the cover of a video game would probably do well.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could even have like the Judgment Day in the background.
A lot of people are saying Judgment Day in chat right now.
Yeah.
But when was the last time we had a female on the cover? Was it Becky in 21?
That sounds about right. Is
Becky,
that what it was?
I think it was Becky 2K21, Becky Lynch. Yeah,
2K20.
Becky 2K20. So it was Becky
and it was
and
her
Roman.
and Roman. Yeah.
So imagine giving it to Rhea, especially going into Perth.
Yeah, Rhea would be big.
Rhea
one
would-
male, one female on the cover. You could literally do Rollins and Rhea.
That would be huge.
That would be the 2 world titles, the 2 new championships.
That would
they
be huge.
introduced.
I think I would want that. 2K21
be
doesn't
pretty big.
exist. You're right, Norms. Yeah, 2K21 doesn't
right.
exist. Yeah.
That's right. They took that year off.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
All right.
2K20 was terrible.
Yeah.
It really was.
all right, what do we got next?
Let's talk a little bit about TNA. We don't actually have a photo for them, but
Yeah.
TNA had their pay-per-view Hard to Kill. They rebranded themselves from Impact Wrestling to just TNA once again.
Yep.
Nostalgia playing a big part in the reason why, but I loved it, man. I watched the entire pay-per-view. I was live with it on the Saturday night, and just not you know when you watch TNA, you're not watching it like you're watching, say, WWE, where every little thing has to matter, right?
Yep.
Like you'll lose your mind over WWE, but TNA, I find most of the time when I watch it, I sit back, I relax, I just enjoy the show as a wrestling fan. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what I got to do on Saturday night. There was so many crazy moments that just made me feel like a kid again. Like seeing Rhino come out and then Santino Marella right after cut a promo.
Son of my gun.
Like I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was so much fun. It's weird to say, but I think the main event out of everything was kind of the most like, okay, the main event's here, like Moose versus Alex Shelley. Like, okay, it's here.
Yeah.
You know, Moose wins. Okay, cool. But then we got freaking Dolph Ziggler.
That was huge. That was huge. And he looks happy to be there. That's the thing. I've seen a lot of interviews with Nick Nemeth since he left WWE, aka Dolph Ziggler, and he just looks so revitalized in this new wanted man character that he's calling himself. And I love it. I love it. And now I have one question for you, because you want to talk TNA. Is TNA by the end of 2024 going to be outshining AEW?
Okay, let's we're gonna have to pump our brakes there just for a hot minute. No, they're not.
Okay,
no, not this year. Ticket sales are nowhere near the ability to get close to what AEW is even doing right now. Just throwing that out there to begin with. Not booked in the bigger arenas. The ticket prices are much lower. No, I do not think TNA will directly compete with AEW this year. But if AEW continues to flounder this year and continues to have fans question decisions, question their booking, question the enjoyment of the show, then you know what? In 2025, that's the big year for TNA. This year, you've got a lot of contracts that are coming up in the business. You've got a lot of people switching brands, and they're going to start figuring out where they want to be. And TNA has the perfect spot to be that feeder brand. Like, hey, you want to go to WWE? Come here first.
Yeah.
You know, come here. Get a 3-4 month run here. Strong run. We'll present you in a big way. Get your bag and get on out of there, and we'll make another star. And I think they're doing that better than AEW is. AEW right now is just basically picking up free agents just to have free agents.
Yeah.
TNA brings in the grizzled young veterans and puts them in a tag team title match right away.
Which was awesome.
Which was awesome, yeah. TNA brings in Dolph Ziggler right up against the world champion to begin with.
Which was awesome.
You have Ash by Elegance, Dana Brooke, who is challenging the women's champion in TNA. She just showed up. Not as awesome, but still, you know, good for Dana, right? I'm going to have those stands all over me
just
again.
so you know, the end of the clip is good for Dana.
Yeah, good for Dana.
Con, I want to jump ahead of something. I'm going to switch over to my triple screen here. I'm seeing breaking news trending on your Twitter. Don't click. Look at your feed. Vince McMahon Netflix series, Peacock growth post X WrestleNomics, and it's being trending on two different pages, or being hosted by two things. What is going on here? Vince McMahon Netflix series. What is happening here?
Vince McMahon. It wasn't spelled right.
Sorry, I don't know what this is. I'm just curious. Is there a click for? Can you hit?
Let's see if Netflix here.
Yeah.
Netflix. What is this all about? Okay. Well, let's see what they've got to
Wrestle
say here.
Talk reporting.
This was on the 15th. They reported this, so a couple days ago.
Okay.
So they say, today I went to Los Angeles to do a Netflix taping about Vince McMahon. I guess what I can say, because I'm not supposed to say much about it, is the Netflix series is going to be out sooner than you think. I guess the best way to put it, I'll know the date. I'll be able to release the date soon. It's soon. It's a big freaking deal. They've interviewed all kinds of people. I was told the most interesting person they've interviewed is Vince McMahon. It's covering the whole life of Vince McMahon. I've been asked about every single subject that you can think of regarding Vince McMahon, from childhood to last week.
Holy shit.
Practically last week. Covered everything. I've done multiple tapings for this. This one was more to catch up on everything that's happened since the last taping. The series, when it started and how it's ended, are completely different. When it started, it was just Vince McMahon, the owner of the company. And now it's not the owner of the company. And there's all these reasons that he's not the owner of the company. The payoffs, all that happened. They were years into this documentary before all that stuff happened. They had to kind of redo everything or refocus on all kinds of new stuff.
Now on Straight Shoot, we don't reference who wrote that. So, but what I will say is, Con, this could be one of the most interesting professional wrestling documentaries we've ever seen.
I'm gonna top you on that one. It will be
Yeah.
the most interesting professional wrestling documentary we've ever seen. The steroid trials, like
They had to interview Hogan.
They had to. They would have to interview
Everybody.
literally everybody who's ever been anybody. The Bret Hart stuff, like
Linda,
you know, like
Steph,
Linda,
Shawn,
yeah,
like Austin,
the
Brock.
breaking, the becoming public. You know, the WWF shit, the buying. Even let's go way back, buying the company from his dad,
buying the
WrestleMania
territories.
1,
Yeah.
WrestleMania 1, the gamble that it was.
Hate to say this, but Owen, the steroid trials, like you said, Owen Hart, unfortunately, Eddie and Benoit, somebody just said his illegitimate son Hornswoggle, like all this stuff.
I don't know how much focus will be on storylines.
Yeah, no, obviously it's just a joke, but like this,
Okay.
I think, fuck, dude, I would do a watch along. You know what we should do?
XFL.
The XFL. You know what we should do? If we get enough people wanting to, we could actually do a watch along doing the pod like this.
Oh, people would be down. We don't even need to ask them the question. You guys would be down.
100%.
We know that. So we'll keep an eye on when this
Yeah,
comes
absolutely.
out,
But it's going to be soon.
This could be really, really, really
Interesting.
Good.
All right.
Interesting. Like, and like just peeling back the wrestling industry a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that this can be a true documentary because he's not in charge anymore.
No.
Like this could actually reveal a lot of things. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. It might turn into like a dark side of the ring almost. There's a lot of shit out there.
Speaking of that, Dark Side of the Ring got brought back for season 5. Just so you know, that got released last week. So, all right, back to our regularly scheduled program, guys. Maybe we'll talk more about that when we know more next week. Just a reminder, guys, don't forget to go and follow us on our Twitter, Straight Shoot PC, and obviously our TikTok, Straight Shoot Podcast. But Straight Shoot PC is where you guys are going to be able to be interactive with us. We are going to have a mailbag. We are going to have chat conversations, and we are going to have This Week in Social Media. So if there is a social media post that happens from today moving into next Monday, because next Monday is when we'll be doing the next episode, because unfortunately I will be on the road as of Tuesday heading down to Tampa Bay. So Con and I will be filming same time next Monday. But if you guys want to, either on Con's stream or my stream, want to ask us questions or send us stuff that we want to talk about, we will pick the best of the best and go over, follow Straight Shoot PC on Twitter. That is the best way to get a hold of us. DM us, Straight Shoot PC on Twitter.
Thanks for watching another episode of Straight Shoot. I hope you guys did enjoy it. Teshk, a lot of fun chatting with you, and we will be back next week live every Tuesday around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But if you guys want to follow us on social media, you can follow me at Conman167 pretty much everywhere. You can follow this man at MrTeshk pretty much anywhere. Dude, that was a great show, and we got a great year lined up for everyone.
Can't wait for it, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and put the bell on for all notifications that are Straight Shoot. And if you need any of our social media links, they are down in the link below. Take care, guys.